Heavy week for geopolitics. We'll see how it affected gold. We got Rich Ilczyszyn on the line. Rich, thanks for joining me today.
Alex, thanks for having us.
So gold had a strong week beginning midweek with the geopolitical tension. Now, that was pretty much the dominant factor throughout the headlines. We saw it track back a little bit today with strong U.S. productivity, but it didn't go as low as the talking heads or people thought it should go. So, how are you setting up gold right now? What does the market look like to you?
Technically, the market's attempting to have a breakout. We know that a close and sustained close above 1305 points to higher prices in gold, and certainly 1325, 35, and all the way up to 1350 are key levels that the market has to overcome. So the technicals are pointing higher. However, the market is so attached to the news. We saw just a heightened sense of volatility here in the last couple of days as technicians that are handicapping this Russian-Ukrainian situation. So the handicap right now is 60% that they would invade within the next 30 to 60 days, if you can believe that. And I think that was one of the catalysts for the safe haven trade. And what gold traders need to be aware of right here, right now, are the yields. If the yields start coming back as things kind of, the volatility slips out of the market, then I think gold's going to have some trouble.
Sticking with geopolitics, the U.S. dollar had a very good week this week, following gold, which it's not something we really see. They don't usually rise together. So is this something we should get accustomed to with the headlines that are flying around out there?
Absolutely. That is the true safe haven. If you look at the volatility peaking this week, you will see interest rates, or at least the yields on 10 years, 2 years, 5 years, all dropping to relative lows for the year. You're going to see the dollar expand to the upside, as well as gold moving in the same direction. That to me spells, and then with the equities dropping, spells a calamity, and certainly people running into some perceived safe haven. I would say that you're probably seeing safety in the dollar currency, as we are the best house on the block, so to speak, for now. And I think that's part of that safe haven trade. And then you're going to see people going into gold. No mistake last night, as we had statements from the Pentagon that Obama has now approved airstrikes in Iraq, another component to the market, as well as the Israeli-Gaza ceasefire ending. Gold spiked to the high last night. So now, that was countered by today's, news, and so it's going to be a tough environment for traders. I'm basically telling our guys here, just keep it real tight, keep stops in place, and don't get married to any particular position right now.
Now, setting it up for next week, when we're looking at gold, what are you focusing on? Is this going to be more headlines from the geopolitical standpoint? Is there any kind of data that maybe we should keep our ear to the ground for?
I think that you have to look at the Russian-Ukrainian situation at the very top of the risk factor, because really the sanctions on Russia, slowing the global economy is definitely what gold's going to be responding to. If we get some type of resolve over the weekend in the Ukraine-Russian situation, you would see gold fall, in my opinion, below that 1,300 again, based on that news. Now, if they walk away from the table and the fighting escalates, we're back to where we were. I wouldn't be surprised to see the equities fall all the way back to the lows, 1 to 2% from last night, and gold go to the highs of 1325 and beyond. Gold still has some trouble up ahead of it. We really need to clear these major levels, 1350, 1390, before we can get the bull run going. And the only way that's going to happen is if rates stay low. And if rates climb back out of the hole, it's going to be trouble still for gold. We're going to be range bound.
Thanks for doing this, Rich.
Anytime, man. Thanks.
And thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to send them to newsfeedback@kitco.com. Have a great weekend.